Last week, Nebraska Extension's Tamara Jackson-Zims advised producers to keep scouting cornfields across the state. The update this week is that southern rust has been confirmed in the Nebraska counties of York, Greeley, and Clay. We'll put more information on southern rust on the Market Journal homepage. Meanwhile, Nebraska's soybean crop did improve slightly this week. According to the latest state ratings, 72% is listed as good to excellent, 1 point better than a week ago. 17% of the crop is setting pods, just a bit above the state's 5-year average. At last week's crop diagnostic clinic in Meade, Nebraska Extension plant pathologist Loren Giesler gave us an update on a disease farmers might be seeing in certain fields.
Well, at this time, we are seeing a little bit more brown spot in some of our fields. We've had these really heavy, wet conditions, really favorable for our foliar diseases, particularly in some of those fields that we had last year that were hailed out. And then we had farmers go back into those that were in corn, maybe hailed out. They went into beans, then they're into beans this year, making a bean-on-bean scenario, which is really favorable for those foliar diseases.
Overview of what brown spot looks like?
Lower canopy disease, where we're going to see that yellowing and leaf defoliation in the bottom of the canopy. Brown spot is not a disease that we typically worry about managing. But it does say it can take up to 10% if it's severe. And this year, with the conditions we have, I think this is one that varieties will vary significantly, and they're not rated, but if you see it and you're at that window where you're considering that fungicide application, I think this is a year that you're going to want to look at that and really think hard about maybe making that application, if you're into that at all.
If you do if you do make the application, are you also mixing in an insecticide?
Well, it's not an IPM strategy at all, but I think the thing that we've seen, historically when we look at the data, and I'm not an entomologist, so I hate to comment too much, but the reality is when I see the higher yield hits, they're usually fungicide insecticide combinations, and I know a lot of producers and managers are doing that. If they're putting the fungicide in, they're making that trip across. Again, it's not an IPM strategy, which we'd really recommend, but it is one that a lot of guys are doing for the economics of it.